Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us, America. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today, and he is the host and co-host of Smart Money Happy Hour and the George Camel Show, which, the George Camel YouTube channel, what do we call that?
I think it's just my name on YouTube. Who knows anymore?
Camel with a K.
That's right. That's how to find it.
Yeah. And that show has come out to rave reviews and a huge number of views right out of the gate, so be sure you guys check that out. Anyway, open phones here at 888-825-5225. Austin starts this hour in Nashville. Hey, Austin, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So Nashville, Tennessee, I'm in data analytics, and I have a ridiculous amount of student debt right now. Graduated with a business degree, and I'm just wondering if you would recommend any options that I have to refinancing the student loans and kind of getting my monthly interest and monthly payment down.
Cool. So how much student loans do you have right now?
So a little over $155,000.
What do you make?
Currently, I make gross about $43,000, 60 net.
When did you get out of school?
About 2015, 2016.
And what do you do in data analytics that pays so poorly? Most of our guys make 140.
Correct. Yeah, I kind of moved from another industry. I was getting out of a company that was a very poor company. It's actually under now. So I kind of took the first thing that I could get, and unfortunately made the poor decision not to get the amount that I needed. I just did something to switch.
Okay. How long have you been at the wrong job?
The wrong job before was 2 years.
This wrong job, the one where you don't get paid enough.
About a year. I do have a raise coming up. Unsure how much that's going to be, but I should know in the next 2 weeks.
Well, regardless of if the raise is $20,000, maybe, but I think you're going to do better finding another job that pays probably double what you're making right now. The data analytics space is wild.
It's not $40,000 a year. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be mean to you, but if you know how to do data analytics, you need to make a lot more.
Understood.
And you need to make a lot more to pay off $155,000. So the ratio that you're looking at is not, can I refinance this and keep it the rest of my life because I make it manageable? No, we don't want Sally Mae in the house anymore. She needs to leave, not make her manageable. I don't want to give her a haircut and put her in the corner. I want her to leave. That's your goal for debt, for getting the debt, right? So refinancing to get a lower interest rate or to get lower payments is translated as mathematically, I'm going to keep this debt forever. Because lower payments means longer term. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got a business degree, so you know how that math works. So let's change the goal from lower payments and lower interest to how fast can I pay this off? And that is big, hairy chunks of principal payments. Like, I don't know, go get 7 jobs and pay $10,000 a month and be done in 15 months. Probably not going to happen exactly that way, but wouldn't that be fun? So when you start looking at it that way, we realize why George and I immediately went after the job, because you've got what we call a shovel to hole ratio problem. The hole you're in is $155,000. The shovel you got is $42,000. Your shovel's not big enough for the hole you're in, and we immediately went asking you to get a bigger shovel for your sake. That's where we went, rather than trying to say, how can we keep Sally Mae in the house and keep her happy?
Understood.
That makes sense?
Yeah, even at a 0% interest rate, it would still take you 7 or 8 years to pay off this debt if you keep making what you're making.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I do work 7 days a week. I have 3 part-time jobs that I do to try to fix that, but I think you're right.
And all of that is $42,000?
No, sir. All that together is about 73 with the other jobs.
Okay.
I was just speaking just with my main job.
Yeah. So the way I looked at it when I was broke, Austin, and I was in my 20s and I lost everything, the way I looked at it was not only how can I make the most money, for a short period of time, I'll do anything. I mean, we'll scrub septic tanks with a toothbrush, whatever I got to do, right? And so what have I got to do to make the most money that's legal and moral the fastest, so that I can clean up the mess, and then I can choose things that are more self-actualizing, things that are better for a long-term career thinking. I can choose things differently once I get the mess cleaned up. But yeah, so your part-time jobs are, you're not afraid of hard work. So that's a good part of the answer. Yeah. So yeah, but let's look at the part-time jobs. How can I make the most money in the shortest period of time? And look at a job change. Because if you're in data analytics, honey, you're underpaid. And so, what if that's really what you're doing? If you really understand data analytics, you have an expertise in the field, and you're doing that. If you're just crunching numbers somebody else is giving you, that's not data analytics. You're a gopher, and that's different. But which is about what you're being paid. But but if you actually can take a project and think through the model and build out the data analytics model and come back with the recommendations that the data is telling the business owner, then you have a value much greater than that in this world today.
Yeah. If you can get that full-time job up to 80 plus the side jobs, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas.
Sweet spot side jobs.
Yes.
Ones that bring in bank, because we don't want to keep them any more than we want to keep the student loan.
And I hope that's all the debt. We didn't find out if there was more to the picture, but man, that's just a lot to come out of school with six figures in debt and making 40 grand. It's just defeating.
Yeah. And you can get on some long-term career tracks. I mean, Ken Coleman's stuff will help you make some decisions on if this is the field you want to be in, how can you make some moves that are good now and good long-term? So let me send you a copy of Ken's book, From Paycheck to Purpose, where hopefully we can even align all of this money-making stuff we're talking about with a good long-term strategy that includes purpose, includes doing things that matter with your life, that you're excited about on Monday morning. And all of that will help.
Yeah, and if you can maximize your time doing those side hustles, that's key. Because if you do 3 side hustles that pay $10 or $15 each, and if we can replace that with a $45 an hour side hustle, now we're talking. Because you started mowing lawns or pressure washing, that's a different ballgame. So I would look at how to maximize your time and on top of that, make the most doing it. That's going to help clean this mess up.
Perfect.
Oof. It's a lot.
Good stuff, Austin. Good stuff. Hey, thank you for calling. And we'll hang on. Another Austin will pick up and get you a copy of that book. Austin, talk to Austin. And Roger. And so he'll get you a copy of that book and of Ken's and help you get going. So, folks, that's what you're looking at is a good way to do this is what we call big math. Don't get caught up in the nuanced interest rate or the nuanced payment amount. Just say $155,000 divided by 3 is $50,000. I can't do $50,000 a year, 3 years, but divided by $10,000. Okay, that's 15 months. Or 15 years. If it's $10,000 a year, what are we going to do?
I'm choosing 15 months.
You start just looking at it that way, and then you go, how can I take this thing out? This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer. And good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today, and stepping into the guest seat, Alex Hormozi. I'm going to mess it up. Hormozi, a first-generation Iranian-American entrepreneur. I just spent the morning with him. We did his podcast. I was a guest. He's an investor, a philanthropist, known for his expertise in customer acquisition and monetization. It's a huge deal on YouTube, has done some amazingly large business deals, including scaled and exited 7 companies for in excess of $46 million. So been a joy hanging out with this young guy. He's getting things done. 1.3 million YouTube subscribers. Welcome. Good to have you, brother.
I'm honored to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you with us. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, this is big. I've been following you on YouTube for a long time, and then we had Graham Stephan on. I was on his show, and he was like, you got to hang out with Alex. So you're on now, and what's interesting is that you mentioned in one of your YouTube videos that Dave gave Graham Stephan some of the wisest advice you'd ever heard around investing, and I want you to share that.
So Graham had his big pie chart of his investments on the table, and he said, Dave, what am I doing wrong here? What should I be doing? And Dave, rather than just like giving him like, oh, you need to be 16% here and 13% here, he said, well, if this pie chart were your knowledge and expertise, how would you divide it up? He's like, well, I'd probably say I'm 85% real estate, maybe like 15% like my knowledge of stocks. And that more or less mirrored what Graham's actual investment portfolio looked like. And the big takeaway that I had when I was seeing that was it wasn't one particular methodology. It wasn't like, oh, you got to get into stocks. You got to get into crypto. You got to get into, no, obviously, like, I'm baiting, right? But it was more so do what you know. And when my wife and I exited our company and we had taken sizable distributions prior to that, I hadn't really come up with an investment strategy because the investment strategy was in the beginning, don't be poor.
It's a good start.
It's a good one. I like that one.
But then after that, it was just like I had everything in indexes and I wanted to take a more active role. And the only thing I felt like I knew good enough was business. And so I'd gone all the way to the edge on, 2, 3, 4 big real estate transactions. And right before I needed to send the money, I pulled back because I was like, I don't know this stuff. And so once I basically gave myself permission, or I felt like you'd give me some sort of like verbal permission to just do what I know, acquisition.com kind of started and became our family office for everything that we do investing, which is exclusively businesses that we feel like we can add value to.
Yeah, and it's a space you're comfortable in. You should never put money in something that you don't understand and don't know. And because some guy in a good suit said to, and the only thing he may own is a good suit. So that's probably not where we're taking the advice. So really, that's really, really, really important. Okay, so you started with nothing, over $50 million net worth, in excess of that on this one transaction.
Yeah,
so
just this one.
I know you're probably north of $100 million at that point. The Iranian American. So you're first generation.
Yeah, first
American.
gen. Yeah.
Okay, so your parents came from Iran, both.
Just my dad.
Just your dad. Okay.
Mom's born in
I've got a really
France.
good friend that both of his parents came here, and also unbelievably successful. And financially. And sometimes I think, I was talking to my friend Brian Buffini, who's Irish, and he has a book out called The Immigrant Edge. And so the mentality that comes off that, George's parents he's first generation.
Middle Eastern.
Oh, I didn't know
as
that.
well.
Okay.
So there's an immigrant edge that goes with that. What is you think the number one mindset as you work with investors and companies that keeps people broke?
They subscribe to what everyone else around them who is poor tells them about how to get rich. So they take poor people's advice on how to make money. And so as a result of that, they keep doing the wrong stuff, or they don't do anything at all. And a lot of them sit into this area of, the paralysis analysis. They're like, I need to find the perfect thing. And meanwhile, 10 years later, they're still trying to wait to find the perfect thing. And they haven't started anything.
Yeah. How do you become a writer? Right.
Yeah.
How do you become an investor? Invest.
Yeah. I used to, because I talk a lot about sales stuff because I think it's a really good entry thing for anybody who wants to, take control of their own income and cost no money to get into, and all you have is skill. Is that, you can read 100 books on sales, but the first 1,000 cold calls you do, you'll learn more than all the books that you read up to that point.
Experience is a mighty teacher.
Oh, 100%. And it's interesting with skill proficiency, but people will put off, it takes 20 hours of concentrated work to become proficient at most skills, like playing the guitar, playing the piano, learning to do a cold call, 20 hours proficient of actual dedicated work. But people will wait a decade to do those first 20 hours because they're afraid.
Fear's holding them back because they don't want to fail a lot of the times.
Yeah, they don't want the judgment that they think is coming along from people who aren't actually paying attention to them to begin with.
Multimillionaire, young age, entrepreneur Alex Hermosa, our guest this segment. You can catch him on YouTube. Be sure and look that up. That's HORMOZA. RMOZI if you don't know. And you can check him out at his website at acquisition.com. So what do you feel like? I mean, you had a couple really big hits along the way. The liquidity event was a big hit, but the building up was gradual. And I mean, it wasn't like you hit the lottery in 20 minutes, had this kind of net worth. But so you built a company, sold it, and that was a lot of it. What do you think all of that has taught you about building wealth out there in America today? A, is it possible? And B, what do you think this sense of hope or this sense of principles around it? What's your takeaway?
So A, 100% possible. B, I think I define sadness as ignorance, as in you don't know what options you have. And so like whenever you feel hopeless, it's because you don't know what to do. And so when I felt sad in my life, I think to myself like, this is because I don't know what to do, which means that this is a problem I can solve because all I have to do is figure out what I need to do. And then that even gives me my first action step, which is like, oh, I just don't know. Great. And so for me, solving that has been a perpetual education process. And nowadays there's so much free information that exists on the internet. Like you can learn how to flip houses. You can learn how to sell. You can learn how to code. You can learn how to edit videos. Like there are all these skills that pay entry level roles, 50, 60, 70, 100, $200,000 a year that you can learn in 8 weeks. And so for the people who are willing to just put in the 8 weeks and then apply for the jobs, you can get way ahead.
Well, there's a lot of young people out there, and I get the messages. They're 17, they're 18, They call into the show. They're going, hey, I want to invest. I want to build wealth. I don't want to wait till I'm 60. I don't want to work a job I hate and do the 401k thing. They want to make money really quickly, and a lot of the times they want to do it the wrong way. What is the advice you constantly give those folks?
Yeah, so I say like you can invest in the S&P 500. I was like, but I prefer people invest in the SME 500, which is you're always going to get higher returns on investing in your own education, your own skill set compared to any stock market. And so like a really real example of this is a buddy of mine has a daughter. She's 17. I think she just turned 18. And she was working at a bowling alley, minimum wage job, popcorn, right? And she said, or he told her, he's like, you can triple your income if you just get a certification to become a phlebotomist. It takes 2 days. It's $500. And by taking $500, she could invest in the S&P 500. And at 18 years old, maybe there'd be a ton of compounding. But if she invests $500 in getting the certification and then 2 days later, she triples her income, probably a better investment in buying the certification than forever having a 3 times higher baseline for what she can make. And I think that's just like a micro example of how much skills can give you more cash flow to invest in everything else. And so my belief is always keep reinvesting in skills because that raises your lifeline, your lifetime baseline of earning potential.
That's so good.
And valuable education is always costs minuscule amounts. Not all education, but I said valuable, usable, utilitarian value. She can immediately go and do something with that. It's not like I collect degrees for a living. No, this is like, but studying something that is usable 100% of the time is the best investment you can make.
My father came here with $1,000 and he didn't speak English, but he had a medical degree. And so he's always been big on education for me. And if you look at it as an actual investment, I mean, he fled during the revolution in Iran. He said, they took everything we had, but they couldn't take my education. And so it's something that can never be taken from you. You can't lose it in a divorce. You can't be taxed on it, on your education itself. It appreciates with time. And then the more educated you become, the more valuable each prior skill adds on top. It compounds.
That's good.
Like if you know how to do math, then you can then learn accounting. When you learn accounting, then you can learn investing or business or whatever. And like each one compounds unto itself.
You got to follow this guy. Check him out on YouTube, Alex Hormozi, Hormozi, for those of you that aren't familiar with how big a deal he already is. And check him out at acquisition.com. Check him out at Hormozi on all his social media. And his podcast is called The Game with Alex Hormozi. Alex, it's an honor to meet you today and hang out. Got a new friend, and it's been an honor to appear on your podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us for a few minutes here.
The honor's all mine.
Cool. Well, you've all played the telephone game. The first person whispers a message to the second person, who whispers it to the third, and so on around the table until the original message has completely changed. Multiply that confusion by 100 if you run a business with different software systems that don't talk to each other. That's why there's NetSuite by Oracle. In the early days of Ramsey, we were using different systems for all of our business units. We needed one single source for accurate data. NetSuite was the software we used to optimize and take us to the next level. NetSuite gave us the visibility into all of our numbers so that we could communicate across departments and plan ahead better. And as we grew, it scaled with us. NetSuite worked for Ramsey, and it will make a difference for your business too. Join the more than 34,000 customers who trust NetSuite to help make them smarter and make better decisions and level up their operations. To learn more, get a free product tour at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Tim and Jen are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
How you doing, Dave?
Good.
Good. Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Near Ashland, Ohio. Jeromesville, actually, but near Ashland, Ohio.
Fun. Good to have you guys. And how much debt have you paid off?
$177,000.
All right. How long did that take?
12 months.
Good for you. Wow. And your range of income during that year?
We were about $170,000 to about $220,000.
Nice jump in 1 year.
Yeah.
What do y'all do for a living?
I am a school superintendent in Ohio, school district.
And I do HVAC, have my own business, one-man show.
What caused the $50,000 bump in 1 year?
Well, she got a pay increase, and then part of it was just me finally being able to work my business the way I needed to. We've had some medical issues with my son, and we had a few down years because of that.
Okay.
So,
all right. So it kind of got a clean spot to run.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
finally.
for you guys. What kind of debt was the $177,000?
Oh, gosh. We had his truck payment. We had my dream car payment. We had a land payment. We had lots of medical debt. We had lots of other debt too. Little check lines here and there.
What did you sell?
I sold my Range Rover.
Oh, wow. How much was that?
It was at the time $43,500.
Okay, so $43,000 of the $177,000. Anything else big?
Nope. We just
Buckled down.
grinded it out. Yeah.
Buckled
Did you
down.
have some money in savings you threw at it too?
We had a little bit. We have a couple of rentals that we had paid cash for before we met Dave Ramsey, and so we had a little bit of cash there, probably maybe $10,000 there.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And then through this all, I got behind on taxes, and because of the tax credits that we didn't get previously, that was maybe $5,000 just to push us through the last little bit.
You got behind on filing them.
Yes.
Oh, when you filed them, you got a credit.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Then we finally caught up on the.
Yeah.
Well, it was a stressful part in our relationship. I was
Yeah.
pushing him all the time to get that done, be responsible. Just the 8 years that we've had with our son were really difficult. Got behind, and, we just we're tired of being tired. We were making good money, and we wanted to be able to just feel comfortable, do things.
Yeah, what was that turning point 12 months ago? You guys are making good money. You're surviving. You're making your payments. What made you go, everything's got to go?
Well, I think, previous to this, she didn't realize it, but through our son's, he had brain cancer twice. Wow. And after the first time, I had gotten behind with my suppliers $35,000. Luckily, they were family owned and dealt with me with that, but she had no idea that I was dealing with that. And started getting that caught up, and we used part of a check or a home equity line to pay for that. Then he was diagnosed a second time with cancer, and I got back behind again about $30,000. And so previous to 12 months ago, I had actually caught that up on my own. And then through our church and some marriage counseling, we just finally got down to the roots of, hey, you should have been open with me about this. And, we finally got on page with communication as a couple, So
how'd you guys get plugged into the Ramsey way?
We finally landed in a church that we liked in Worcester, Ohio, Worcester Grace. Shout out to Jeff Walter, our leader there for FPU. And, he through church, then they offered FPU, and we were right at that point where I was tired of that. I mean, I'd had heaviness for 7 years, waking up. She had no idea, waking up in the middle of the night, stressing about, man, I got to go to this supplier and ask them to sell me more equipment, and I owe them $35,000.
Well, once I found out, we're like, game on. Like, we're going to get this knocked out. We're going to get this done. And so it came at a perfect time, and we jumped in. And
wow. And FPU is just that. All right, this is right in front of us.
Yep.
This is, if we ever needed a sign, this is it.
That's right.
Yeah. Second class, she looked at me and she's like, I got to sell my car. I'm like,
that's
it was awful.
That's big. That's sentimental.
But we went to buy the car, and I mean, I was just sick the whole time.
I was
went to
happy
buy
as
it.
can be.
I'm thinking I got $30,000 hanging over my head, and she wants to buy this, a beautiful car,
Oh yeah, it's an incredible car.
$900 a month.
Oh my goodness.
It's incredible. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
It was.
Did you go down to one car, or did you get something else?
I had a Tacoma that I used as my work truck, and then I had a GMC Sierra that we had purchased years
So she
before.
settled for that.
She's
I'm
on the
driving
Sierra.
the truck around.
It's out in the parking lot.
I love it. Good for you. Well done, you guys. I'm proud of you. How's it feel to be free?
It's a lot of weight off our chest, and it's hard to slow down, which everyone says that, we've got a little bit of mortgage left, but, I listen to you guys every day on the podcast, and, it's hard to not want to help people. I see people in my, close vicinity, whether it be church, family, friends, that you just want to help them out and turn them to this system, because it really just takes a lot of weight off your chest.
Wow, thank you. I'm so glad we were there for you. It worked out great, man.
Thank you.
And you guys, you're impressive, because really what happened with you guys was so much more than a simple money plan. This was a marriage come to fruition. The secrets are unveiled. We don't have to hide them. We don't have to carry the stress. There's a lot of things broke loose with this. A lot of kind of freedom in addition to the debt freedom.
Yeah, I really think that, I've said that from the beginning, is just we had a common goal. You know what I mean? Just something that it really brought us closer, because we both were, headed to that common goal. So, yeah.
Way to go, you guys. Very well
impressive.
done. We're proud of you. Good work. Hey,
Thank you.
we've got the Live and Give box for you. It's the Baby Steps Millionaires book. That's where you're tracking towards.
Thank
and,
you.
of course, Total Money Makeover book. You can give that to someone. The Financial Peace University membership. You can give that away since you've been to it and it made such a difference in your all's life. And so it's a Live. You get to use some of it, and Give box. We'll have that for you. Thanks for coming down to visit with us. Very proud
Thank
of you.
you.
Before we go, what do you tell people the key is to getting out of debt?
I think just unity in your marriage, and just having that common goal, and having that, just, I don't know.
I think that for me, it was just immersing myself into the system and continually listening to the podcast, listening to people. You are who you surround yourself with, and you become who, the things that you listen to and expose yourself to. And so that was important to me, just to continually hear the same thing, so that way I was focused on the goal.
Well, and that way you don't think you're crazy for selling a Range Rover.
Yeah.
Instead, you think you're a hero, because the truth is you're not crazy, you're a hero.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Yeah. But, if you're hanging out with people that are calling you crazy every day for doing that,
That's right.
instead of people that are saying, way to go, you're sacrificing to win because you have a bigger goal in mind than a car, way to go. That's a huge thing. That says so much about who both of you are, the processes that you went through in this. So, well done. Very, very, very neat people. Cool. All right, Tim and Jen, Ashland, Ohio, $177,000 paid off in 12 months, making $170 to $220. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Debt-free scream, right?
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
And that was Caden joining at the end there, folks. I forgot to introduce him. I apologize. But yeah, great job, Caden. Good work. Good debt-free scream, guys.
What a story.
That is how it's done right there. There is so much that's typical about where they were, and how far they traveled in 12 months, not only with the numbers, but their behavior changes, their relationship changes, everything. And at the exact moment Financial Peace University appears at their church,
Yeah.
as if it was planned. Apparently someone was planning that. It wasn't me, by the way.
Not a coincidence.
It would be called God. And so that's what we call it around here anyway. And pretty impressive people.
Yeah. I mean, so many people wait 12 years to do something about it. They went, in 12 months, we could be done with this and focus on our future. And that's what's so powerful about Financial Peace University. It's not a 10-year get out of debt. We're doing this in 2 years so we can have the rest of our life with freedom. So if you haven't done it, I don't know what y'all are waiting for.
Paid off everything but the mortgage, $177,000, including the sale of a $43,000 Range Rover in 12 months.
What are you willing to do to get debt freedom?
Yeah, she's willing to do a lot.
A whole lot.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. It makes a difference. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. That debt-free screen, we're talking about Financial Peace University. What you discover there is the difference in knowing what to do and actually doing it. Because a lot of you listen to the show, you know the answers, you know what to do. But the trick is we got to get you to do it. And in Financial Peace University, we're going to get you to do it. It's what we do. So the classes work for millions and millions of people. After 9 weeks, you'll never handle money again. You'll never see money again the same way. You're going to have a whole new look on how the world works. So join a Financial Peace University class at RamseySolutions.com/FPU. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. John's in New York City. Hey, John, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call. You guys are incredible.
Well, thank you, sir. How can we help?
Well, I am calling to find out when you think I should move out of my parents' house. And I should specify that I'm on Long Island, not the city, because it's actually relevant here.
Okay.
So I am a 25-year-old lawyer. I'm going to be admitted as a lawyer this coming Tuesday.
Congrats.
And I will get a salary. Thank you. Thank you. I will get a salary bump to $80,000 per year, but after taxes, that's going to be about $5,000 per month. I went to law school on a full scholarship, thankfully, but unfortunately, I owe $46,000 in undergraduate student loans. I'm estimating that without a rent payment, because I'm still with my parents, I will be 100% debt-free in about 12 to 15 months. Here's the kicker. I live on eastern Long Island, and so I commute about 3 hours per day to work. Obviously, I don't like this. My current plan is to stay with my parents until I am completely out of debt, then rent an apartment close to work while I work on baby step 3.
You work in the
Do you
city?
think this is a reasonable plan?
You work in the city?
Pretty close to it. I'm in, western Nassau County, so
Yeah.
very close to Queens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, John, the only way I know how to answer questions around here is, and I'll let George do the same thing I'm going to do, is what would I do if I woke up in your shoes? For me, a commute of 3 minutes is a strain. 3 hours is untenable. Mine's 12 minutes, and that pisses me off.
And he
some
still
days.
drives very fast.
Yeah, and that's driving quick, but I still don't even want to do that. So I couldn't do it. It doesn't make. I mean, that's like for me. I can be in Knoxville from Nashville in 3 hours. That's like driving to Knoxville to go to work every day for me. That just blows my mind. No, thank you. I'm not doing that. There's not a scenario under which that's going to happen. Now, do a lot of different things. I could take a job as a lawyer somewhere else and move to Kansas, but I'm not driving 3 hours. Okay, so that's off the table for me. And if what that means is you're going to get out of debt a little slower, oh, well, we're going to get out of debt a little slower. And is there something else we can do to patch up our income while we're a beginning lawyer? I don't know. 80K is not bad. But they're probably going to try to kill you the first 3 years at 80K too. They probably don't have any spare time. And you've got a 6-hour round trip here. No, thank you.
Well, not 6 hour total. 3 hours.
Oh, an hour and a half each way. An hour and a half each way.
Yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah, it's still untenable for me. I'm not doing it. I'm moving. And I might even move to a whole different area and get a job somewhere else, but I'm not doing that. It's not on the table for me. What do you think, George?
Yeah, I'm in the boat of I would rather have 3 or 4 roommates in the city and have a shorter commute than continue this for any extended period of time.
Yeah, this doesn't work. It's not free. The cost is extreme. And so,
physical, mental, emotional.
Somehow you've got it in your head this is free, but I mean it's straining you. It's you're trashing your car. You're putting bazillion miles on it. You got a lot of fuel cost. I mean it's not free to live there. So and I'm just the quality of life on that. I'm not doing it. But again, if it's untenable to live near work, then maybe you've taken a job in an area you can't afford to live in. And that may mean a whole different set of issues and changes. But at the end of the day, what this points out to you is the current way something's got to change. Now, how much has to change? And that's the only thing I'm looking at. I'm moving, John. So thank you for the call. We appreciate you listening. And I hope it all works out for you. I hope it's real smooth and everything goes good. And that's not a slam on your mom and dad. It's not a slam on you living with them. If they were 10 minutes away, we could have a different discussion as to when you would move out. But they're not. So it takes it off the table.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Erica's with us in Rochester, New York. It's New York segment. Hi, Erica. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Awesome. So I was laid off about 6 weeks ago now. I've been interviewing more than I ever have in my whole life the past couple weeks, and no doors seem to be opening. I have 2 small children in daycare, and I'm just wondering, should I just take them out of daycare, stay home, and then we'll just live off my husband's income?
What's his income?
Right now he makes $65, but he just graduated with his degree in occupational therapy, so he should be making at least $80 the next, couple months, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
What did you make?
I made $90.
Why? Well, doing what?
Senior buyer, so for manufacturing.
And why is it you hadn't landed a job?
Oh, why do I not have another job, you said?
Yeah, why have you not made it through the interviews, do you think?
I don't know. It just, the environment, I don't know. The interviews aren't just going my way, I guess. I make it to the second, third round, and it's just, I don't know if the economy's not good. It's a tough market.
Well, there's a shortage of workers, so the economy's booming for what you're trying to do. I think I'd try to get a handle on what you think is going on here. The only way I know how to do that is put you in touch with Ken Coleman's materials. Ken is one of our Ramsey personalities, and he has some wonderful stuff on interviewing. And I also think that I'll send you a copy of one of his books called The Proximity Principle. And this idea that you know someone inside of some of those buildings that can, A, help you get in the door, and B, maybe even give you a nice recommendation to push you over the top on some of these interviews. And you'd be surprised about who you know when you stop and think about it in a different way. So dropping your household income by more than in half because you had a couple of rough bouts on an interview is not a plan. And if there's another reason that you don't want to work, but it sounds like you're like, I don't want any more rejection, I'm going to stay with the kids. That's what it sounded like.
There's plenty of rejection with the kids, too. But
it's different.
It doesn't sound like your dream is to be a stay-at-home mom, which tells me, let's get back to work. I think you're going to pay a lot less in daycare than you would making $90,000 and paying for daycare. So I think the ROI is there for you to continue working. If you were making $35,000, it may be a wash with paying for all that daycare expense. But I would keep searching, keep hustling, use those resources from Ken, and see if you can't land something in a few months and get that income back up.
Yeah, he's got a resume builder. He's got a whole process on landing interviews and getting through them. A lot of that is free at kencoleman.com or click Ken Coleman at RamseySolutions.com, either one. Meantime, I will send you a copy of his first #1 bestseller. It's called The Proximity Principle, to get in proximity of people, but it also talks about this connectivity being your inroad. Just sending out resumes and hoping people pull them out of the stack, it usually does not work.
Yeah,
Like,
the way I got the job here was knowing someone. It was a loose connection, but you get one little foot in the door, and that becomes something, and that becomes a full-time gig, and it's amazing what happens. But a lot of people right now, Dave, there are layoffs happening, and we're seeing that even as the economy is booming. What do people do the first thing when they face that financially?
Yep. That's exactly how that works.
Is getting that emergency fund and making sure you line something up as soon as possible.
Works for me, guys. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Austin is on the phones. Ben is on the board. James is our producer. Zach and Andrew are helping us on video. They are the booth dudes. They make the show happen in the booth. And some days they have a substitution that's not a dude, but on the other days they are the booth dudes.
Yes, we do have a few females
They're
occasionally.
actually a punk rock band, the booth dudes. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't know that I call them punk rock, but they are very nice gentlemen.
I didn't say anything about the rock. I said something about the punks.
They're punks for sure.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, George Camel here. If you love the show and you want a deeper dive on your money journey, we've got a weekly newsletter that gives you helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for the newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washoe, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions here at 888-825-5225. Dave is going to start off this hour in Indianapolis. Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, Dave. I have been a major fan and listened to you for over 15 years. I have read the Total Money Makeover. I have done it practically, though, by myself. My wife has never been on board with it. But I have got myself to a place to where I am debt-free except for my mortgage, but I'm 63 years old, and I owe $150,000 on the mortgage. The house is worth about $400,000. We have about $90,000 on hand in cash. And what I have been thinking, and I wanted to ask you, and I'm so very, very honored, again, to be talking to you right now. I respect you very, very much in your whole cast there that you have.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think this out and think this through. No credit card debt, no nothing. We don't even have a car payment. And absolutely nothing. But the thing of it is that I think that we should downsize from the bigger house that we have for a lot of reasons. But I think, moreover, I'm not as disciplined as I could be, and I do realize that you cannot treat your program like a la carte or like a buffet. You just can't miss a step. You can't do one thing. And I've got myself to this point by listening to you and listening to the other examples, but I haven't done it the correct way. And it's no way to do it. But if I downsize by a $300,000 house or maybe $310,000 house, I'll be totally debt-free and set myself up in a better position to retire. And
Dave,
I had a very bad argument with my wife last night. And
she doesn't want to move.
That is correct, sir.
Yeah, don't move.
It will not. I mean, we have a nice house, but it's big, and it's the maintenance of it.
She doesn't want to move.
She doesn't want to move.
That's right.
You're 63 years old. There's a chance you're going to spend 30 years with her.
Yes.
You don't want her pissed off for 30 years.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what I think is fair is to say the reason I brought this up is because I'm scared. I'm afraid we're not going to have a good retirement, and I was trying to figure out a way to stabilize us. If we're going to stay here, I'm going to have some help from you. You're going to have to help. We're going to have to work together. I can't carry this by myself and you be an anchor while I'm trying to move this forward. I can't do it. That's why I brought up something as bizarre as selling the house, because I'm tired and I'm scared, and you have to help me if we're going to stay in this house. Otherwise, we're going to have more of these fights because I'm scared and I'm tired of doing this by myself. And if you want to stay in this house, I'll go along with that. But the trade-off is you got to help. You got to get on board. That's a fair ask of her.
Perfect.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. No, that is perfectly reasonable. I thought you would see it from more of a financial standpoint and say, yes, just downsize, have no mortgage. But the personal aspect of this is kind of outweighing that. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, because it's not just your money. It's not just your house. It's not just your decision. And unfortunately, in times like this where you do know best, it doesn't mean that you can just go and act on it, because the two of you are a unit. And, you opened up the call with, I've tried to get her on board before. Have you ever talked to her in the way that Dave just laid out?
No, I haven't done it in that manner. I have a tendency of not talking, not communicating that well with my wife, the way that you just presented that.
Yeah. And sometimes Sharon and I, when we had been married about 10 years, we spent about a year and a half in pretty intense marriage counseling because we were attempting to kill each other. And it wasn't going good. And, a few times since then, we've still used, that marriage counselor has become a lifelong friend, by the way. We still will use her, it's a lady. Sometimes we'll call her and let her referee on something we cannot get through. And we'll say, hey, Margaret, you ready to referee? We're going to come over for an hour. And she says, okay. And we come over, we drop a fee on her, and she referees for an hour. But we both respect her enough that we think we can guide our way through something. We can't figure it out. Even after 40 years of doing this, we cannot get on the same page. It doesn't happen very often, but occasionally we get something we're both bullheaded about. Yeah. Usually one of us will let back and go and let the other one go.
I mean, is it really a marriage if you haven't attempted to kill each other? I mean, let's be honest about that, Dave.
Until you reach that point, you cannot officially call it. Yeah.
Oh, so true.
Yeah. I had a lady one time. She said, we've been married 35 years and we've never had a fight. And I said, that's because you lie.
Okay. Man, oh man. Healthy conflict is healthy. Conflict is healthy. Don't avoid it.
Yeah. So, Dave, you're no different than any of us. In other words, you're the same thing. But I think the point is you're grasping at straws because you cannot see a way to do this and keep the house. And there is a way to do this and keep the house. You've got enough years left. You have $90,000 in the bank. If we threw $60,000 of that at the 150, we've only got 90 to go. And if we knock out 30 a year for the next 3 years, you're 66 and the house is paid for, and she's in the house she wants to die in. So let's try to go at it that way. But baby doll, that means 30 a year. That's $2,500 a month. And we've not been doing that because you're not doing that. And we got to do that together. If we're going to stay in this house, that's the cost of the deal.
Yeah. I think that if he lays it out as you so eloquently did, which clearly you learned in counseling, I think he'll be all right.
I might have used this technique at home. Yeah. No, I mean, you just got to talk it out and say, look, and Dr. John Deloney, when he's on here, a lot tells people, look, have you bothered to tell them how scared you are?
Yes.
Have you bothered to tell them how angry you are? Have you bothered to tell them not just you need to get on board and do Dave's stuff? That's ridiculous. Nobody wants to do that. Have you bothered to tell them how excited you are about, enthusiastic, how much this makes me smile, to the idea of being debt free? And we don't I mean, all spouses have a tendency to say, I thought you got mind reading lessons with that marriage certificate, and you didn't. Oh,
you
mean you have to tell me? You have to tell me this makes you smile. You have to tell me this makes you scared, because otherwise you don't know.
Yeah,
makes you tired.
Good advice, Dave.
That's good. Good. Fun stuff. Jade Washaw, Ramsey personality this hour, all here for you people. This is the Ramsey Show. Hey, folks, you know that sinking feeling when you make an offer on a house you love and then you hear there's another offer? You need the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge. Super fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate, plus a $5,000 seller guarantee gives your offer the best chance of being accepted. The Home Buyer Edge from Churchill gives you an advantage over those other guys. Go to churchillmortgage.com today to learn more. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We are so glad you're here. Hey, guys, this time of year can feel really crazy busy. The goals you set with vacations around, they can seem distant or fuzzy. But the thing is, the kids are going to be back in school in the fall. We're going to hit a whole nother gear, and then you're going to blink, and it's going to be 2024. You need a plan now to refocus on the goals that you set this year, like getting out of debt, building wealth, taking care of your mental health, maybe pursuing that career change that you love. Join me and the rest of the Ramsey personalities at Smart Conference in Chicago. We'll be there September 15th and 16th, and we'll show you exactly how to reach those goals. You'll learn how to get money smart, relationship smart, career smart. Smart! You'll leave with tons of encouragement. Rachel Cruz, Dr. John Deloney, Ken Coleman, Jade Washaw, right here to my right, and George Camel, all speaking and teaching you. Smart Conference is Ramsey's biggest event of the year. We want you to be there in Chicago with us in September. Early bird tickets are on sale, $79. Here's the thing. The early bird pricing is about to run out. You want the good price? Do it now. RamseySolutions.com/events. Smart Conference, Chicago in September. Don't miss it. This is The Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us. Hey, guys, if you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button and the follow button and leave a nice 5-star review. It's a big deal. It changes everything for us. We appreciate that. And, of course, share the show. If you're watching or listening on a method that gives you to electronically share, clip a link, or push a share button, that's good. If you're just a listener, a viewer, a talk radio, TBN, whatever, just tell people where we are, and we appreciate that. We know a bunch of you are doing that because there's a bunch of new folk hanging out. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nicole is with us in Atlanta. Hi, Nicole. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Okay, well, I am a newly divorced single mom of 5 children. 2 of my children are handicapped. I have been a stay-at-home mom since 2020, and all of my children are under the age of 8, so daycare would definitely be too expensive for me. I have 3 of them are going to be full-time in school in the fall, so I have really been praying about, finding a job that suits the needs of my family, both financially and with my time. And what I've felt led to be looking for is remote jobs. When we were in the midst of our divorce, I looked at your budget outline and was trying to see, like, okay, how can I make a budget? Because right now I am living off of the Social Security disability for my 2 daughters to make sure the mortgage gets paid, the lights stay on, and, you know, I have other government assistance to help with food and health insurance.
You kept the
so
house.
that we're covered.
You kept the house.
I got the house, and I got my vehicle that was paid off. My name was on his vehicle, but he got it, but that doesn't matter to the debt collectors. My name is still on it. So I count that as part of my debt. He was supposed to pay attorney's fees, but he hasn't. That debt's on me. I do not count any child support or alimony because he hasn't paid any. And so I have to find a job.
How long have you been divorced?
6 months.
And why have you not gone before the judge and said he's not paying the car payment and the child support and the alimony?
I have. I've got the ball rolling with them either collecting the money from him or collecting him. So, you know, the problem is they can't find him.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he just took off.
He still calls, and I have an idea of where he's at. So I've done all the necessary things to try to hold him accountable, and it's just a slow process because he's not even in the state.
How much is your house payment?
My house payment is with taxes and insurance altogether, so it's $1,085.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you've got to.
I'm just trying to.
I'm sorry. What a mess you've been through, kiddo. I'm sorry. I was just trying to grab at some money there, and you've already been grabbing at it, and it's not there. So, so what are the prospects on this? You feel like you're going to be able to pull this plan of yours off?
So I have a wonderful support system, thankfully, with my family and my church. Mm-hmm. And I've told church leaders and everything that these are the needs that I have, and I think that this is what I need to make to have ends meet. My question was, when I was looking at your budget breakdown that I had Googled at the time, I had no income to put into it. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, okay, what do I need to ask for as salary in order to make my ends meet? And so I kind of did the budget backwards. I put my mortgage in, and that's supposed to be 25% of my budget. So I did my mortgage, and
you don't have an income that is a permanent thing, right? I mean, you've got portions of your income, but you don't have your career income figured out yet.
No, but I'm trying to figure out what I need to make.
She's trying to reverse engineer it, and I don't think
you get to decide a job based on what you need to make. You've got to decide on the right job. Mm-hmm. You need to be identifying that I need to make this much. But I mean, because you need to make that, you can't walk away from some other things. You've got to look at what you can figure out here.
Yeah, anything at this point, anything that you find that's work from home that starts today, take that until you can find what.
I have been doing side hustles, doing like my brother and my sister have a side business that they do, and I've been doing their social media networking for them, so that brings in a little bit. I've sold about half of the things that I can sell so far, and I'm still going through things to try and sell them.
Mm-hmm. Now that's got an end to it, though.
Yeah, that's very short term. Yeah. So you said 3 of the kids go to school in the fall. Then you've got the 2 that are at home. Even you working from home, I mean, just because you're at home, you still got to work. So who's taking care of the kids while you're working?
That's just going to have to be where I do some sort of remote virtual job, because that's all I really can do. I found a program that's for like a parent's morning out where you can send the kids to basically a free daycare for 3 or 4 hours twice a week. So that would really be a time that I would hunker down and get some work done.
Yeah.
And then the other times I would have to work at night when the kids are in bed because they all go to bed early enough that I could stay up for 3 or 4 hours.
So something where you're at home, you can set your own hours, maybe look into like virtual assistanting, that sort of thing. But I think you're right. I think you're on the right path. I think that you've just got to start getting those prospects lined up instantly, because the selling stuff, the side hustling, it's good that you're doing something, but that, like Dave said, that's got an end to it, and that end is coming really quickly. The good news is your kids are also going to school very quickly. So luckily that's lining up for you. But stay on this judge, stay on whatever that pathway is to get that alimony and to get that child support, because right now that would be a huge lifeline for you while you get all of this set up and stacked up. And thankfully you've got a good network and a good community there to help you out.
Yeah, there's when we're helping people in financial crisis. Now, your situation was brought upon you by different things, but one of the things we always do what can we do short term to get the income moving? Because if we can get the wolf away from the door, you can relax a little bit, and then the second part is, what's my long term plan?
Yeah.
Okay, but they can be two different plans. I've got a good long-term plan that's going to come out of my short-term plan, but my short-term plan is breathing.
Oh, 4 walls, baby.
Breathing. I mean, just keeping the food in the house and the lights on and that kind of stuff. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 40% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Billy and Melissa are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi. We're okay. We're excited, and we want to throw up all at the same time.
Oh, gosh. Well, don't do the second one.
We'll try to get you through a few minutes here without that. Yeah, we'll just stick with the excitement part. Hey, how much debt have you two paid off?
We paid off $470,000.
Okay.
Yeah. How long did this take?
It took us a little over 12 years.
Wow. Woo. And your range of income during that time?
Yeah, the range of income was 70 up to 180.
Wow.
Love it.
So what do you guys do for a living?
So Melissa is a stay-at-home mom, and I am a personal trainer, gym owner, and now I'm helping other gym owners, coaching them with their business and their finances.
Good for you. Wow, well done. Good, nice income. Good jump over 12 years. What kind of debt was your $470,000?
Well, it was a house.
Yeah! Wow!
All right.
People! Credit card debt, student loans, a loan with a parent, a car. Medical.
We had a guy that I knew from jiu-jitsu. He said, listen, I can put a fence around your yard, a beautiful fence, and you can pay me later. I said, awesome. That was part of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pay me later was real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the jiu-jitsu fits. Yeah. It shall ever be known as. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. So, how much is this paid-for house worth?
I would say about $450.
Yeah, way to go. And how much do you guys have in your investments?
Everything else is about $300.
Okay, so you're almost to baby step millionaires. Way to go, guys. How old are you two?
I'm 38.
Yeah, I am 43.
I love it. Well done. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so 12 years ago, things changed.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Oh, man, we had a huge wake-up call. One day, I was married to my beautiful wife and getting ready for work. So knock on the door, and there's a really nice but really scary-looking guy on my stoop. Our car had been hooked up to his tow truck, and that was our wake-up call. Our brand-new car was repossessed, and that was when we realized we had a problem. We were in complete denial. I didn't even know that there was a risk of that. I had never heard of it. I didn't realize it could happen, and it did.
Did you realize that you were that far behind on the payments?
I did not. I just swept everything under the rug.
We started getting letters for our house that they were going to foreclose on us.
Goodness.
So it was bad.
Yeah.
So what do you attribute to that? Was it just you guys had your heads in the sand, or were you going through a hard time financially? How do you...
Well, we were just spending more than we made. Actually, it was funny. After we got on a plan, and we realized that we actually had more money once we were on a plan. We had less money coming in as an income once we got on a plan, but we had more money beforehand, and we were in so much debt. So, it was crazy.
Wow. It's not that unusual,
Yeah.
There is... I've never seen any actual research done on it, but having met with and almost experienced repossession, there's something you feel, this weird combination of being stolen from, like violated, and mixed in with this intense shame.
Yeah.
Like it's my fault that the thief is in my driveway.
Yeah.
There's a weird vibe there. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Definitely, yeah.
It kind of comes up in your throat.
Yeah.
And you talked earlier about throwing up. This one's real. Yeah. But that is a serious wake-up call.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, you're like, oh, and by the way, there's letters on the house, and maybe they aren't kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it's so public, too. It's like when you get those letters in the mail, no one sees those but you. But when the guy shows up on your street with the tow truck, that's like...
Hey, Billy, where's your car? Yeah,
we had an argument that night going to go pick it up, so that was stressful.
Oh, I bet. Wow. So this moment happens. You realize our money is a hot mess. Talk about what happened next.
Yeah, honestly, God just really used you guys. We were in a small group with our church and had never heard of you guys, and he just casually mentions it. And after that, we went home, did a little research, and we drank the Kool-Aid hard.
Come on now, put ice in it.
We're so weird.
Yeah, we did everything. We went through every single step.
Did you do Financial Peace University, or you
two
just...
times.
Oh,
Two
wow.
or three?
Yeah, three. And then
times.
one got interrupted for some reason. We were doing third time. It got stopped for some reason. I can't remember
flood.
why.
We had a
Oh,
flood.
it was
by the water.
Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did that. Then we led it several times for our church, and it was.
So you got plugged in, stayed plugged in, kept doing the class, because we all know that keeps you motivated.
Yep. And we did Legacy as well.
Yep. We did that
Wow.
on our own.
Yeah.
Did everything.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Like you said, drink all the Kool-Aid.
Put ice in it.
Absolutely. And then also, just to mention, we also applied the same principles in the business. So all of that debt was from previous stuff. And
personal. No business debt.
But the business, we never took a credit card for the business. Never,
That's great.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Very cool stuff.
Good for you guys. Well done. Well done. All right. Now that you've done it, house and everything, on track to be Baby Steps millionaires soon. How's that feel?
Amazing. I love what you say about how the grass feels under your feet. on your own property when it's not owed to anybody. And it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, I agree. It's incredible. Our lives have totally changed. There's just a different feeling. Our marriage was already, I would say it was great, but it's gotten even better. Our family has gotten better. Life is just is way better.
Oh, way to go. Your business, probably making different decisions there.
Absolutely. Yep.
What you say, calmer, wiser.
Yeah.
The whole thing, that's generally what happens, and feel a lot more in control, a little less desperate. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's, you can sell easier when you don't have to sell.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. Good for y'all.
Good.
Well done, you guys. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Well, being on the same page is a big part of it. We were listening to the call before, and my heart goes out to couples that are not on the same page because we were in such a desperate situation, and we knew we had to get help because we didn't know what else to do. And so his leadership was really big in that, but just being same mindset, same goal.
Yeah, it's been a huge blessing to do it together. I think that's even more important for us is what it's done to our marriage and our family. It's quite a miracle for us to be standing here and just to think of the change that's happening in our lives and in our 4 children. It's a huge blessing. The other thing I'll add is we put a lot into growth. I heard somebody else say that also, and I agree with that. We invested heavily in ourselves, in our marriage, our emotional health.
That's good.
Give Entree Leadership a plug. That was definitely a big part of it. So that was, I would say those 2 things are what jumps out to us.
Very cool. Way to go, you guys. We're proud of you. You got the kiddos with you. What are their names and ages?
Alyssa is 12. Olivia's 8. Sophia's 5. And our son Julian is 2.
All right. Very good. We've also got the Live and Give box for you, the Baby Steps Millionaires book, since you're almost there, the Total Money Makeover book, and a Financial Peace University membership. And you can, of course, give that away to someone as well. All right. Billy and Melissa, Alyssa, Olivia, Sophia, and Julian. From Clarksville, Tennessee. $470,000 paid off. House and everything. Woo! Did it in 12 years, making 70 to 180. Count it down. All right. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yeah! Way to go, you guys. Man, that's awesome.
Wow.
Financial Peace University 3 times.
3 times. Legacy Journey, they did it all, Dave.
Man, that's amazing.
Fully committed.
Very cool stuff. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Our question of the day is brought to you by Neighborly, your hub for home services. If you need work done on your home but don't know who to trust, you don't have to stress. Neighborly is your single source for just about anything you need done around the home. Go to neighborly.com to find available home services near you.
All right, today's question of the day comes from Andrew in West Virginia. He says, I've paid off $42,000 of debt. I built my 6-month emergency fund and finally started baby step 4 last March. I'm considering pausing retirement investing so that I can make ends meet with how expensive everything has become with inflation. I was very excited to begin saving for retirement, but at this point, I just don't see another way for me to make ends meet without pausing investing for the foreseeable future. Interesting. My mind immediately goes to something's off in your budget because I'm like, where's the other 50% of your income? Because let's just assume you're giving 10% off the top. Let's pretend that. Let's pretend your mortgage is at 25%, and then you're investing 15%. There's still 50%, and you have no debt. Where's the other 50% going? That's my first thought, Dave. So either...
I think he has a house payment that's too high. Or we don't know his income.
That's true. We don't know his income.
Could have an ultra low income.
That's true.
If you're trying to do this on $25,000 a year, you can run into that.
That's facts.
But if you're making an average household income of $65,000, $70,000 a year, this is not a problem unless you got something else off.
Something else is off. I would recommend him check his budget. Yes, check your mortgage, see what's going on. And honestly, check out that lifestyle creep, because a lot of times what happens is you pay off your debt, everything's going well, and you start increasing your lifestyle, but it causes you to not be able to do the things that you still need to do. And one of those things is invest. Yeah. So there's a lot of unknowns in this equation, but check with the budget, because the budget holds, it's like blood work. It tells you all things.
Ooh, that's brutal.
It is.
Here's the thing. Let's think about it. Okay, what of the budget items that we're talking about could inflation affect? Okay.
Food.
Electricity. Water, and they have gone up some in some areas, depending on the area. The gas for your car.
Yes.
Okay.
And that could be pretty substantial.
Miscellaneous crap at Walmart. Right?
Yeah, there's always the Target crap. Yep.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The inflation rate was 9.6%. Let's call it 10. Okay. And so let's say you were making $100,000 a year to make it easy, and we're dealing with 50% of your budget, and we're dealing with not all of that has an inflation figure applied to it.
Right.
We're not even talking about $2,000 or $3,000 here a year that inflation has changed your budget.
Yeah.
So I don't think you are identifying the correct culprit.
I agree.
Matter of fact, I'm positive you've not identified the correct culprit. Inflation is not the culprit.
No.
It is a low income, a high house payment, or some lifestyle creep, or some combination of those things. So,
I agree. But this is a great moment for me to talk about budgeting, since we're talking about budgeting. If you feel like you're in a similar situation, if you're like, hey, the math ain't mathin', I'm running out of money at the end of my month, you need a budget. And you are lucky, because for just a limited time, guys, I feel like the ShamWow guy. For a limited time, there is a deal that we're offering. It's got my name as the promo code, and you can get $EveryDollar, which is our budgeting software, and you can get it for $15 off. Now, that's pretty substantial considering that the normal price is $80. So 15% is a big discount.
$15.
$15, yeah.
More than 15%.
That's right. $15 is a big discount. And not only that, but you get a free 14-day trial so you can test it out.
And that's
Trust
for
me.
a year.
Yeah.
That's for a year.
Oh, that's right.
The whole year.
The whole
It's not
dadgum year.
$65 a minute or a month. It's for a year to have the $EveryDollar Plus. That's a good deal.
It's a great deal.
And so this has your name on it.
Yes.
Why
have to
isn't my name on it?
Well, Dave, if you want one, they'll give you one too. But for now, this one is everydollar.com/Jade.
Well, there you go.
Don't be salty about it. Go sign up today. Get your money right. Trust me, you're going to love it. It's the only budget that I use.
We're going to give away Dave's money, and we're going to use Jade's name to do it.
That's
All
right.
right. There we go. Yeah, $EveryDollar is it is literally the world's best budgeting
It is.
software.
It's the world's best budget. I've been using it since day one.
Day uno, since we came out with it. There
That's
we go.
Right.
Rachel is with us in Los Angeles. Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
As expected. Thank you for taking my call, and thank you for everything that you do for us. We appreciate it. But
Sure.
My question is around my mother's trust and my three sisters, well, my two sisters and I, so three of us total. And just making sure that we're protected. So she actually, my mother, got married a few weeks ago to somebody that we don't know. We've never met before. He has two kids. I just want to
That's a little weird. Are you all estranged?
No, not at all. Yeah, it was a very strange situation. little dramatic, but
yeah, that would be fair.
We're very close. Or
Yeah.
I thought we were close.
Is it someone she's known for a long time as friends and they just got married, or just this guy out of the clear blue sky?
Yeah. So it's she does know him. She's known him for a few years, and he's been kind of chasing her. She's been kind of pushing him off, and then they've been dating for a few months, and then decided to get married.
Okay. Oh, yeah. What's your question?
So I just want to make sure that my sisters and I are protected with our trust. She doesn't have much, but I am the executor of the trust, and they didn't sign a prenup. So if anything happens to her or both of them, I just want to make sure that I'm not.
What is in the trust?
Going about with him. What was that?
What's in the trust?
I know for sure the 2 properties are.
They're titled to the trust. The trust is the owner of the properties recorded at the courthouse.
I believe so.
Okay. Then they can't be sold without your signature.
Okay.
You're the executor of the trust, right? You're the trustee.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you need to see your lawyer. I'm not one, but we use trusts in our estate planning, and if a trust is like an LLC or a corporation in that it is a standalone legal entity that acts like it's human, and it has a name, and the name can own things. And so the building that we are sitting in is owned by a trust. And so it's not in Dave Ramsey's name. It's in the name of the trust. And so for the building to be sold, the trustee has to sign the documents. That's who manages the trust. However, if the trust dictates that the trustee has to follow the direction of your mom, and she says for you to go sell it, then you have to follow the direction of the trust. You might be forced to sell it, but she can't go and sell it if it is titled to the trust without the trustee's signature in most states. Now, you're in California, lots of weird crap in California on the law and weird laws, and so I am not an attorney. Please go see your attorney. And at a minimum, verify that the trust is actually holding the title of the assets. It's entitled to the trust.
How else would it be able to be in the trust and not titled
sometimes
to?
people form a trust and then don't retitle the property. Oh. And so the property's not really in the trust. They just kind of wish
thought
it was.
Oh, that's
it's kind of it's called an unfunded trust, meaning you didn't actually move the crap into the trust.
Oh, wow.
You built this trust to protect everything, and then you didn't move the stuff in there, and so it's of absolutely no value. There's nothing in it. It's an empty lockbox.
Interesting. Yes.
And so you know, I have a lockbox, but there's no money in there. You know, so there's no documents in there. So Rachel, go see an attorney, your attorney if you have one, that's help put the trust together. Hopefully there's a family attorney, and say, all right, I want to make sure I'm able to do the things that the trust is asking me to do as the trustee, and I need to verify that the properties have been listed in the name of the trust. And tell me what happens if mom gets influenced by this husband that I've never met to go do crazy crap. What happens then? And get some legal advice so you're ahead of the curve on this. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today, and you are listening to a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. A lot going on in that title. We're going to be taking calls from people who have a net worth of $1 million or greater only. You are welcome to call if that is you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. You are calling because we want to interview you and learn a little bit about your wealth, how it got there, where it came from, and where real millionaires come from. There's a lot of mythology out there about where wealth comes from. It's all inherited. You have to be a rock star, a country music star, a sports figure in order to be a millionaire. Only crooks become millionaires. All wealthy people are crooked. They stole their money. All these other absurd mythology items that are running around the culture that people believe. And the problem when you believe them is it makes you think it's not for you. Mm-hmm. And the purpose of this show is to show you the truth. Mm-hmm. Where do millionaires really come from? By talking to real millionaires. I don't want to talk to your broke brother-in-law. I know he has an opinion, and he votes wrong. We don't even need to ask him, okay? I want to talk to real millionaires, people who've really done it. A millionaire is, by definition, a net worth of $1 million or greater. Your net worth is an accounting figure. It is not a feeling. It is not a moral construct. Your net worth is what you own minus what you owe equals net worth.
Not a salary.
It's not a salary. It's not an income. It's definitely not your freaking FICO score.
Come on.
So it's really just your assets minus your liabilities, the net of those two things, the net worth of those two things. When it is greater than $1 million, you are by definition a millionaire. Well, $1 million isn't enough. This is not a discussion of that. This is a discussion of, do you have $1 million net worth? Mm-hmm. Well, it's not a real $1 million net worth unless it's all in cash. No, you're wrong. That is not the definition. If you want to define something as a cash millionaire, that's fine. But real estate counts. Any asset that can be sold and turned into money counts. That's called an asset. Mm-hmm. Minus any liability, any debt that you have. Net is $1 million or greater. You're a millionaire. Mark is in Chicago, our first millionaire. Hey, Mark, what's your net worth?
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me on. $2.9 million.
Very good. Give me a little breakdown by category. How much in each of the different things?
My retirement is about 1.6. Other savings outside is about $1 million, and my house is worth about 0.3.
$300,000 house. Okay, cool. How old are you?
65.
Good for you. And how much of this $2.9 million did you inherit?
$100,000.
Okay. At what point did you inherit $100,000? How wealthy were you when you got that?
Probably was worth a little over $1 million at the time.
So you already had the ball rolling.
Yeah. So is it a correct statement then to say you are not a millionaire because of inherited money?
That is correct.
Okay, good. So what was your range of income in your working life, your worst year and your best year working?
Averaged about $90,000 when I started. After I graduated from undergrad, my starting salary was $12,600 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then probably within the last couple of years before I retired, maybe about $180,000.
Good for you. And what was your career?
Certified public accountant.
CPA. Mm-hmm. Good.
Yes.
So I assume you have an accounting degree, 4-year degree.
Yes.
What was your GPA?
3.5.
Okay, cool. Good.
And then I went on after a couple of years to get my master's in taxation.
Ah, very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a book reader or a TV watcher?
Neither, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
More reading, obviously the tax law and the changes and so on.
That counts.
And some of the trade journals.
Okay. All right. So what advice would you give to the 25-year-old CPA out there that's listening? Can they still become worth $3 million when they're 65? If so, what should they do?
Well, you need to have some goals in life, and that's what I started out, that I had some goals, and then you figure out a plan to achieve those goals, and you stick with it. and you need discipline. Without the discipline, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have fun in your life? I mean, did you go on vacations and enjoy nice things, or did you live in a cave and collect lint?
No. We had fun, and one of the plans that I had when I graduated from undergrad, one of my goals was to own racehorses, which after saving for a number of years, I've been able to do, and that's the part of the fun in our life besides traveling.
How many horses do you own?
Right now, I own 50% of one standard bred.
Wow.
And that horse would be valued at what?
Yeah, right now, she's probably worth about 20 grand tops.
Ah, okay. All right. So that's truly hobby stuff. Excellent.
Well, no. It's a trader business. We try to make money at it.
I know, but it's not. If you told me she was a $500,000 horse and you owned half of it, I'd out of $2.9 million. That's but I mean, this is your share is $10,000. So yeah, this is fun. It's fun, is what your point is.
Yes.
Yeah. Good for you, man. I'm proud
Very
of you,
cool.
hero. You went out and did it. Live the American dream, man. It can be done, Jade.
I mean, he started making $12,000 a year. I love that. When he started his working life, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was a different time, but golly.
Yeah, it was a different time, but it's not a different time now, and he made 180.
Okay.
So I mean, how did he become wealthy? What do you say? Steady.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. Discipline. Personal discipline.
I gotta believe he was debt averse.
Yeah. The largest study of millionaires ever done in North America, done here at Ramsey. Airtight research. Had outside research firms looking over our shoulder to make sure we weren't getting into some kind of confirmation bias or violating some methodologies, because we're really good at research, but we want to be triple sure. This is airtight research. In other words, if you don't agree with the conclusions, you're what's known as wrong. Okay? 79% of America's millionaires did not receive a dime of inheritance. That's 8 out of 10. Another 5% received a small inheritance, like $5,000. Another received a substantial inheritance, like Mark, of $100,000 after they were already millionaires. 5 and 5 and 79 is 89% of America's millionaires are mathematically not millionaires because of inheritance. 9 out of 10 times. You know what that says to the rest of you? That you can do it. And you should do it. This is the Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour on the Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, being free to make your own medical decisions is a big deal these days. Christian Healthcare Ministries gives members the freedom to choose the doctors and providers they want without the frustration of worrying about networks and with no waiting period to join. It's a membership-based nonprofit ministry where hundreds of thousands of Christians share funds to pay for and pray for each other's medical bills. For over 40 years, CHM has helped families living across all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Check out more today at chministries.org/budget.
Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. This is a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. Ken is in Los Angeles. Hi, Ken. What's your net worth?
Hey, Uncle Dave. It is so awesome to be talking to you. I can't believe this is happening.
You too, sir.
Thank you. My net worth is, thank God, it is $1.5 million.
Yay! All right, give me a little breakdown by category.
Yeah, it is 10% real estate, all paid for, and the rest, 90%, is in index funds. Low-cost index funds.
Okay, so you said how much is in real estate?
About $150K.
Oh, $150,000 in real estate. Okay, and then so 1.3 in mutual funds?
In low-cost index funds.
Yeah, okay. That would be mutual funds, yes. Okay. All right, cool. And how old are you?
I am 42, and my wife is 43.
Okay, excellent. And how much of this did you inherit?
I wish. No. In fact, it's the opposite because me and my wife, we helped my mom and dad back home during their bankruptcy. So we inherited nothing, absolutely nothing, not a dime.
Where's back home, Ken?
For me, Istanbul.
Oh,
and
wow.
My wife is Korea.
Yeah, okay, wow. Okay, zero. So your household income or your working income since you began working, your best year and your worst year?
Oh, worst year, I had a disability that I couldn't work for like 2-3 years. Best year is thankfully today, both me and my wife combined income, including bonuses and stock options, of $490K.
$490K. What do you do for a living?
I'm a software engineer, and I own a consulting business on the side. And my wife is she's the co-founder CEO of a tech startup.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And you have a degree in software engineering?
I have a degree in computer science.
Computer
Honestly,
science,
Dave,
okay.
I barely finished high school. I barely finished college, so I'm not the smartest guy in the room, that's for sure.
You make $490,000. Something's going right for you. What was your GPA?
Like as low as possible, like 1.5, if that even that's even a pass.
Yeah. Wow. If that even gets you out. I don't even know how it works. Okay. So where did the $1.3 million come from? Just pure savings?
Saving and investing. Like, I don't think I ever put more than $1,000 in the stock market at a time. It's just small drops and ended up being a lake today, an ocean perhaps.
Wow. What made you believe so strongly that you could do this? Because you went after it, man.
Mm-hmm. I did, yeah. I was so broke in college, Dave. I grew up wealthy, my mom and dad. And then I came to U.S. for college. I was just dead broke, and I did not ever want to be broke again. So I saved, I invested, and I read a book that changed my life very early, like in my 20s. You know this book, The Millionaire Next Door.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Tom Stanley's book from 1992. Yeah.
That book, I owe my wealth to that book today.
Yeah,
so just a slow, steady $1,000 a month here and there, invested over time.
Good for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that the advice you would give to a younger version of you listening?
I would say definitely read more books, and just read more books. The way I see it, Dave, there are two topics you have to master in life. One of them is money because you interact with money no matter what, and one has to read about money. The other one will be perhaps dealing with people. So those two books, I think people should read about those topics.
Yeah, I agree. Good for you, man. Well done. Proud of you, hero. Good work.
That's something.
Pretty incredible. 42-year-old, $1.5 million net worth. Catherine is in Fort Worth, Texas. Hey, Catherine, what's your net worth?
Hey, Dave. My net worth is $1.2 million.
Good for you. Give me a little breakdown by category.
So I have, it's broken down into cash, real estate, a Roth 401k.
How much
equipment
cash?
Company. $293 in cash.
Okay. How much in real estate?
$652 in real estate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have $75 in our Roth 401k.
Mm-hmm.
$100,000 in equipment company for one of our side hustles.
Mm-hmm.
$75,000 in cattle because we live in Fort Worth, and $22,000 in stocks.
Wow, way to go! How old are you?
I'm 29.
Wow, look at you, a young millionaire.
My husband's 32, so we did this together.
Yeah, way to go, guys. How much of this did you inherit?
$0.
Zero. Okay, cool. And your income since you started working, best year and worst year?
Our worst year was probably one of our first years out of school, about $95,000, and now we're up to about $280,000.
Cool. What's your careers?
I'm a nurse practitioner, and he works in construction.
Good. 4-year degrees? I know you have one. You got a nursing
a
degree.
master's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has he have a degree in what?
Yeah, in I think general studies. So I think he had 3 minors.
Okay, cool. What was your GPA?
Mine was 3.7, and his was probably 2.9.
You got your net worth categories broken down to every detail.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me you're tracking this closely. What drove you to do that?
Yeah, I think, a lot of it we had in our minds that we wanted to be millionaires by the time we were 30. We started doing your baby steps when I was 22. I was just out of college. I made my first big girl purchase of a Lexus. And we were in debt, and we were looking at our bank account and saw that, we were paying $500 a month, and we were like, what are we doing? So we started listening to your show, and the Baby Step Millionaire theme hour was on there, and we were like, this is something that we can make happen if we get out of debt. So we set it as our goal. My husband was 30 years old in 2 months by the time we became millionaires. And so, it's just always been a goal of ours.
Wow. Good for you. Very well done. So you were aiming at it very, very specifically, and the method you used was, of course, getting out of debt and living on less than you make.
Right. And I think what we really learned through all of this is, in baby step 1, where you really just do what you can to make that $1,000. Well, we took that and just ran with it until, we became millionaires. So, and, it was $1,000, and then it was $2,000. But what we really learned was, how to work, and how we really just learned how to make money.
That's amazing. Man, all I see through this whole equation is intentionality. And I think that's such a huge part of this, is knowing, hey, this is the goal. We're going to do what it takes to accomplish the goal. So how do you enjoy this? What do you do to enjoy now that you're not just like on that grind?
Well, first of all, we really enjoy working. So that's part of the problem, but also got us to where we are. But just sitting in your house at the end of the day and saying, like, look what we've done. And we don't really go out to eat at fancy restaurants. We don't, really do all that kind of stuff. But, just.
But it's not because you can't. It's not because you can't do it. It's because that's just true to your personality. It sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're the type of people that like take coupons to Subway after work and do that kind of thing. But I don't know. It's just the peace that you have in your mind and knowing that you can set goals and achieve them.
Very proud of you. Way to go, hero. Look at you. 30 years old. Before you're 30, you become millionaires. 30 years old, $1.2 million in net worth. Why? Listen to this podcast, do this millionaire theme hour 8 years ago when they're 22 years old out of school and said, oh, wait a minute, $500 Lexus payment is for a moron. I'm not a moron.
That's
I'm
textbook.
going to get out of debt so I can be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. Yeah, but Dave Ramsey stuff's only for poor people. We don't help people get rich. Nobody knows who gets rich doing this. Only her. Wow. That's so impressive. This is The Ramsey Show. Finding a high-quality real estate agent can be tough, but it can be even tougher when you're trying to find one in another city or another state where you don't have connections. If you're relocating, you already got your hands full. You don't have time to search high and low for the perfect real estate agent, but this isn't the time to just roll the dice and let Google find you a dime a dozen agent. And you don't want to hire someone's Aunt Linda who just got a real estate license. Or worse than that, Karen. Don't settle for average. You need an agent you can trust to help you make strong decisions and smart decisions. We call these agents Ramsey Trusted. And that's because they're agents we trust. You know why we trust them? They're the best in the industry. They sell a ton of houses. They're not brand new in the business. They're top of the business. They're going to take care of you because they know how to do that. Yeah. You don't have the time or energy to waste, and you don't want to get with somebody who's just getting, you got to get somebody who knows what they're doing, okay? Mm-hmm. RamseySolutions.com/agents. It'll get you a Ramsey Trusted real estate agent. RamseySolutions.com/agents. This is a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. We're talking to real millionaires, people who have a net worth of greater than $1 million. A net worth is defined as your assets minus your liabilities. What you own minus what you owe equals your net worth. If you have $1 million income and no money, you are not a millionaire. Your income does not cause this to happen. I heard an idiot congressman the other day say, well, he's not a millionaire. He doesn't make $1 million a year. Oh, no. And I'm like, how do we elect people like you that are illiterate? But yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's disheartening.
Yes. A U.S. congressman.
Wow.
Woman, yeah. Yes. Crazy. Okay, so we're talking to real ones. If you're a real millionaire, call me. I want to know how you did it. I don't care where it came from. You could have hit the lottery. You could have gotten inheritance. You could have started a company. You could have done it slow and steady. I don't care how you did it. I want to know. I want to hear from you what the real story is. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. John is with us in Denver. John, your net worth is what?
Right at about 2.2, 2.3, Dave.
Excellent. Give me a little breakdown by category. How much in each category?
1.4 in IRAs with an investment firm in there in Aiken, South Carolina, where my parents used to live.
Mm-hmm.
I've got about $25K left in my 401K. I moved most of it over since I'm getting ready to retire soon. I moved it over to my investment counselor. And then I've got about $600,000 in equity in my house and $200,000 in a paid off rental property that used to be my parents. So,
Okay, cool. How old are you?
I am 61, looking forward to 62 in 2 months.
Good for you. Good for you. And how much of the 2.3 did you inherit?
Probably about $600,000, Dave.
Were you already a millionaire before that happened, or was that before?
I was already a millionaire. Yes,
okay, so you did not become a millionaire mathematically, your first million, by inheritance, but you did have a nice bump after.
Yes, sir.
And it sounds like you're referring to your mom and dad, so this was when they passed, I'm guessing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. And your working lifetime, what was your best income producing year and your worst?
Best year was just over 500.
Okay.
And worst would have been one of those early years, probably $548.
I got you. Okay, cool. And what was your career?
I'm an accountant. I run the business operations for a contractor that operates our nation's chemical demilitarization facilities.
Ah, okay. But you're a CPA or an accountant by trade?
Yes, sir.
And that was your degree?
Not a CPA, just that I'm an accounting major in college. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Got an MBA. So.
Okay. All right. And what was your GPA?
Undergrad, probably somewhere around 2.9. Graduate, close to about 3.9.
Good. Yeah, get serious then. Yeah. Okay. And okay, so what is your? Do you hear the voices in the culture that we hear telling people this can't be done? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yes, sir.
That personally frustrates me because it's not true, and then it tells people. I call those people hope stealers because if they steal someone's hope, then they won't go do what you have done. And so it's doable. Do you think it's still doable today?
I know it's still doable today, Dave. My oldest son owns 3 homes, 2 of which are rental properties, and my youngest one owns 6, 5 of which are rental properties.
And so they're in their, 30s or 40s, and they are millionaires too?
Yeah, they're getting there, yes, sir. The oldest one is about 37. The youngest is about 32.
Okay. And they're well on their way to being millionaires if they're not already?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very cool. So what advice do you have to the younger version of you that's listening out there?
The best advice I ever got, a professor in college of mine said, what would you have if you put $2,000 a year into a 401k or an IRA? Because back then, that's what your max was.
That's right, it was.
Yep. And so I looked at that, and I came up with like $980,000. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. So that would be my recommendation. Just figure out a way to throw money at a 401k or an IRA every year. And the other main thing is to always tithe.
Oh, I love that. So making giving a major priority in this whole thing.
Yep.
Wow. What I'm hearing here, and I mean, there's a good side of this. It can work out in your favor or negatively, but there's a mentality here that's clearly been passed down because clearly his parents had money, and now has money, and his kids now are millionaires. And John, am I right there that this is a way of thinking, this is a way of working, this is a way of handling our money that we're not only doing ourselves, but we're teaching our children to do, right?
That's exactly right. My parents never made more than 6 figures in their lifetime, and both of them worked. Mm-hmm. And when they retired, they still saved money out of their Social Security checks, not to mention what they got in pensions. So they were saving just about every penny they had, and their net worth increased probably $400,000 in retirement.
Wow. And I think that's what's so incredible about that. It's when we talk about changing your family tree, that's exactly what it looks like. And you don't have to make $500,000 a year to do this. It is the lesson that I'm taking away from this anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Yeah, very good. Well done, sir. Proud of you, hero. Man, look at you. You did it. You're actually worth $2.3 million.
So cool.
You're 61 years old. That's very fun. One of the myths that people believe is only the uber smart become millionaires. And actually what we find is the typical millionaire has around a 3.1 GPA. His was 2.9 in undergrad, 3.9 in grad. We got a 1.5 earlier.
Right.
We got 3.7 and a 3.5. Mine was 2.97, and if you haven't heard, I'm desperately bitter about that 3/100ths of a point. I probably attribute it to beer, but the point is you really can't be like dumb.
Right.
But you don't have to be uber smart. You don't have to have a 4.2. You don't have to be like a savant.
Well, there's different ways of being smart. Everything's not like the book test smart. You could be smart in other ways.
You could have like common sense.
That's right. There you go.
That.
What do you know about that?
Well, you know. This is The Ramsey Show. Shaw Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. This is a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 22:29. Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Cale Sanderson, 3-time Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling, said, unless you continually work, evolve, and innovate, you'll learn a quick and painful lesson from someone who has. Ooh.
Wow.
Kyle is with us. Kyle is in Chicago. Hey, Kyle, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
How you doing, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Not too much.
Your net worth is?
1.32.
Cool. Give me a little breakdown by category.
So about $350 in cash, about $115, $120 in brokerage, about $60, $70 in retirement, and then the rest is in real estate.
Okay, so
And a little bit of business value too. I'm self-employed, so a little bit of
so about 700 in real estate, give or take. All right, cool.
A little bit more than that.
Okay, and your age?
On there. I'm 32.
Okay, all right, excellent. And how much of this did you inherit?
0.
Okay, and what was your best year working and your worst year working so far?
Worst year was about negative $5,000 a handful of years ago, and absolutely terrible year of business. And then the best was about $250.
Cool. What do you do?
Landscaping, snow plowing, exterior lighting, just small business type of stuff. So when you talk about cutting grass, I feel that one.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Okay, you have a 4-year degree?
No.
Nope. High school?
Yes.
What was your GPA in high school?
A's and B's. I don't remember the exact number, but it nothing too crazy, nothing, out of the ordinary. Just got by. But it
okay, so you're a 32-year-old high school graduate that has a $1.3 million net worth from running a landscape company.
Yep, started it when I was 11.
so impressed.
Walking, pushing mowers down the street, and it just kind of grew it, and then kind of increased the value by adding different services and skills, and kept at it.
Boys and girls and whiners across America, listen carefully. Here's where money comes from. Work. Oh, my God, you work. You outworked everybody.
I mean, there's definitely been enough 100-hour work weeks in there, but it is,
wow.
Yeah, just sometimes you got to just put your head down and work.
Wow. Hey, can I ask, what's your relationship with debt been like? Like, what's your thought about that?
I'm not 100% with you guys on the everything debt free, but I use them as different kind of levers. So like I have 2 houses paid off, but 2 houses have mortgages. So I kind of keep a healthy balance in case I get injured or something. All the trucks are paid off for the company.
So for the most part, debt averse for the most part.
Yeah. But when I do take on something with debt, I try to, pay it off as quick as possible. But I also have a large cash cushion for, a safety measure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's pretend that the local high school there in your neighborhood invites millionaires to come and speak, and you go and speak, and a kid who's a senior in high school says, hey, Kyle, America's broken. You can't be a millionaire today.
It's easier today than it's ever been.
Why?
Because so many people don't want to work. That's opened up so much more opportunity for the people who do.
Come on. I love that. All you have to do is be willing is basically what you're saying.
And I cut grass, that's only a small part of what we do, but I cut grass. There's nothing special, fancy, or difficult about it. It's just, you got to get out there and go.
Every time the grass needs cutting. You never miss.
And then along the way, you figure out where you can add more value, increase your skill set. Now I could climb trees and remove trees. Now I could do low voltage lighting. So I didn't just stay stagnant with cutting grass. I expanded myself, my value, my skills to increase my income.
I love it. I love every bit of this call.
You are amazing. You're an absolute hero. Kyle, thanks a bunch, man. Congratulations, hero. So very proud of you.
When you can make have $1 million net worth cutting grass
at 32 years old,
everybody else just needs to shut up.
That's a mic drop.
It's a mic drop.
Just shut up.
Oh, God.
Just shut up.
And what he said is so true.
Let's just scream and throw a fit and whine and melt down and say, oh, you can't, I need $15 an hour and I don't even show up. I need $20 an hour and I don't even show up. Mm-hmm. And but because it's just America's not fair, life's not fair. Well, I tell our kids growing up, the fair is where the tilt-a-whirl and the cotton candy is. Let me tell you about fair. Fair is you get off your fair butt and get to work. Okay. That's what fair is. And then you will find fair. It'll show up at your door and show, then you'll be able to afford to go to the fair. Oh. If you quit whining about everything being fair.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not entitled.
No.
And he's not entitled. What a cool guy.
Yeah, very cool. 32 years old. He's just made really great decisions. He took what he knows how to do, and he's like, I can make a business out of this. I can find a way to make money out of this, and just little by little continuing to grow. Obviously, it's not like a straight path. You have good years and bad years, but he just continued on with it, and here we are. I just think that that's phenomenal.
So today on a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour, we talked to 5 millionaires, 2.9, 1.5, 1.2, 2.3, $1.3 million net worth, 65 years old, 42, 29, 61, and 32 years old. GPAs 3.5, 1.5, 3.7, 2.9, and 3.0 from high school. These are our millionaires for the day. The number of them that inherited their wealth, they became millionaires because of inherited money, was precisely 0. 9 out of 10 American millionaires started with nothing, inherited some money maybe, but only after they were already millionaires. 90% of America's millionaires did not become millionaires because of inherited money. 89%. Detailed research has proven that. No, they're not. We didn't talk to a single person who was a professional con artist or crook.
Oh, look at that.
They did not steal their money. Wealthy people are all not thieves.
That's
right. The dumbest butt Karl Marx thing you can ever say. You must vilify the wealthy in order to destroy them with anarchy. That's called communism, moron. Seriously. It's the Karl Marx playbook to vilify the wealthy, when instead in America, some of the nicest, best people you ever meet became wealthy because they're some of the nicest, best people you'll ever meet, and they served and they helped and they showed up and cut your grass and they did your accounting and they were nurse practitioners and they were software engineers and they were CPAs. Today. Not a single one listed crook as their career track.
That's right. We also didn't talk to any NBA stars.
Yeah, we didn't talk to any rock stars.
Nope.
I don't know if any of these people can even play the guitar.
That's right. And they weren't all 80 years old either. What do you know about that? You can be young.
And they had good lives.
Yes.
They enjoyed themselves.
I just love debunking these myths.
Yeah, I just love it. Yeah, you guys, you got to believe the truth in order to act on the truth. If you believe the crap that is floating around in our culture, it causes you to be stagnated.
Yeah.
Don't believe it. That's why we do this Baby Steps. That's why we wrote the new book. This is the #1 bestseller, Baby Steps Millionaires, because they became millionaires by doing the baby steps.
That's right.
There is great hope out there. America is not perfect, but it is the best chance on the planet you have for the little man to succeed. That is not a patriotic statement. That is a statistical freaking fact. Oh my gosh, people. Seriously. Get it. Get you some. Oh my gosh. It's unbelievable. Jade Washaw, good hour. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Guys in the booth dudes, made it happen again. Excellent job, guys. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there is ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
What's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.